All right, everyone. Hi, my name is Heather Havenwood, and welcome to Like a Boss. Another amazing interview today. You're going to love, love, love. Many of y'all know that I started a business back in 2015 and built it from 0 to 1.5 million in sales in 18 months. It's a settlement company. I no longer am running that company. And I actually really enjoyed the physical product business. I really did love that. And so I'm super excited today to kind of pick the brain of our next guest. Sophie, are you with us?
Yes. Hi, Heather. Lovely to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. And you're the second person I've interviewed today that is a New Zealander. No, Aussie. What would you call that? A Kiwi.
Kiwis from New Zealand.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. That was the worst thing to say ever to a New Zealand person. Are you an Aussie? I apologize on behalf of all Texans in the world that said that.
Like the Canadians getting mistaken for Americans. Over here, it happens to them all the time.
Okay, good. All right, good. I'm not the only one that said that. So a Kiwi. I love Kiwis. I love that. And we were just chatting in the green room. I said, have you ever heard of Cadrona? And she said, well, I'm skiing there in a couple hours today. I was like, oh my gosh. So that's really cool that you're living there. You live near Cadrona? What's the city?
35 minutes from Cadrona. So I'm in a little town called Wanaka that's 6,000 people, tiny, like a resort town. Great place to live. Got a horse and skied 3 days this week and ski in school hours while the kids are at school and then pick them up at 3 o'clock.
Wow. I love that. I want your life. I probably will come visit soon because that sounds really awesome. Okay, great. I want to dive in. So I want to tell everybody who you are first before we kind of dive in. So Sophie Howard is a 7-figure Amazon seller and online business coach. Sophie helps entrepreneurs source profitable products, build premium brands, and sell their online businesses. She has sold 2 Amazon businesses, one for 7 figures, United States. I love USD. Like American would never have put that. That's so funny. One for 7 figures, basically United States money, and is currently building her 3rd global brand. Sophie created Product University and the Amazon Navigator as online training to help online sellers source profitable products, follow a step-by-step process, and get up selling on Amazon fast. So thanks for being here. I'm giggling because, only USD, here in America, we're just, we just don't do that kind of stuff because we think everything revolves around the United States of America.
Yeah. Well, really, a lot more New Zealand dollars, that's for sure.
Right. No, I totally get it. I always laugh how, I don't know, like narcissistic Americans are. We're really narcissistic. We really think the whole world just drops off on the Atlantic and the Pacific. So
actually, it happens in the Amazon world as well, because a lot of the American sellers only focus on the US market to sell to, whereas I sell all around the world on Amazon, like looking at India and interesting places that everyone else is ignoring.
That's actually a really good point. And like I was sharing earlier, I've only been on Amazon one time for the past business. I was not on very long because some guy that took the business. But I remember, I'm just gonna share this. I remember going, we should probably look at, doing different countries like Mexico, since I live in Texas and it's only 200 miles away. Yeah. But I remember going, oh my gosh, I don't know if I could do that, because it's so foreign, which is just so ridiculous. But Amazon's really been able to create that level playing field. But I want to start with this. I'm going to ask the question I think people are asking all the time. Is there room to still make money in Amazon?
Yeah, absolutely. So every time I've sold an Amazon business and I've been cashed up and sitting there wondering what to do next, I've had a good look around all the other online opportunities. And there's pros and cons of things like running your own traffic to your own Shopify store. But if you're in the physical products game, Amazon is the place to be, because the traffic, so much of it's free because people are searching, they're already looking to buy. You get a way, way higher conversion rate. So if you've got your own website, it's like 3% on Amazon. It could be 30% of people that see the product buy it. And where all the crowding and jostling has happened, and where there's just too much supply of really similar products all out of the same Chinese factories, everyone just competing on price and running at a loss and having to do all sorts of silly gaming and giveaways and playing tricks with Amazon to get their products ranked. I've never engaged in that game. So I have found thousands of products that are profitable, that are away from where everybody else is selling. Yeah. So I do really non-obvious categories of products, really quirky, obscure little niches, or you would say niches in States. Just keep out of the way of everyone else. They're all very reliant on software tools to pick their products. So they'll run some scan over the data of, what's selling at what price, at what volume, and they'll pick something that's already quite mainstream and then go and compete with the existing sellers and then get some of that market share, and then the price falls away and everybody has a race to the bottom. So that game's horrible. The stuff I'm doing, so I've done over 500 different products, and I've helped thousands of people choose other products as well. And if you can keep clear of that big kind of crowd of people choosing really obvious products, then there's plenty of space. Amazon's still in growth mode. They still want more premium offerings. So you don't want to sell commodity stuff. You want to do premium, gift-worthy, unique products, interesting supply chains, good suppliers, quality products, obviously, but just non-obvious stuff. So I source a lot of my products from places like Sri Lanka and India and Vietnam. I haven't got anything from China at the moment.
Good girl. I'm like totally serious. Oh, that sounds really bad. I'm like, I'll pro China, man. Whatever we need to do, right? At the same time, I think that there's my point of that is that I think there's just such an opportunity outside of just China. I just think there's so many other places that are creating great products, including the United States, by the way, including Mexico, including India. I mean, there's just so many, Canada included. I think there's Venezuela. There's so many places that are creating great products, and there's just so much focus, just like the United States and China. Like, there's the only two places in the world, and it's just not true. Yeah. So I just love the fact that you're giving other countries an opportunity to say, hey, we have products too that we want to serve your market.
Yeah, and I've had some great products from China. Nothing against it. I've had really good.
Nothing against it.
But my first product was handmade from Nepal, and I sold $1.6 million of that in the first year. I was like, so you don't need to do mass-produced plastic after all. That was a handmade wool product from Nepal, like completely non-obvious. So there's a tool that everybody uses to see how much searching's going on for different keywords. And the training I'd done when I started on Amazon said go way higher volume and choose something that somebody else is already doing really well at and kind of copy it. Now, I didn't like that for lots of reasons, like partly the ethics, partly if it's that easy for me to copy them, what's to stop the next person copying me?
Right.
And partly I just was trying to choose something I was interested in or liked myself. So, commercially thinking, before pet projects, trying to make it profitable from day one. Like I've been pretty serious about it being a real business, not just a hobby business. But choosing products that I like, that I, wouldn't be embarrassed to tell people about myself. There is this weird thing on Amazon, just for your listeners, that most Amazon sellers won't tell everybody else what their Amazon products are or their storefront link, just because then if they know you're doing well, it's so easy for them to just turn up and copy your products. So apart from my very tight inner circle, I don't share what my products are. And the same for other Amazon sellers. It's just a funny thing in the Amazon community. Just people tend not to share their products. But we can talk on the show about
so
general.
They don't talk about what? Okay, this I'm not going to ask you to reveal. But at the same time, if they are out there speaking about they don't speak about their products at all. They don't say, "Hey, I have the latest and greatest supplement. Go check me out."
You don't need to. You sit with your product on Amazon, and you know from your research that there's people searching for it. And you know from your research what your competition's offering, what comes up on page 1 of Amazon when you run that search. Yeah. And then you get your point of difference with the product, you do the best packaging, you do the best listing, and off you go. You don't need to sit and pay for PR or run Facebook ads. There's customers searching to buy on Amazon every day, and you know that data before you launch your product. So I've mucked around. I've had, these gurus of Facebook come along and say, "Oh, you should be on Facebook. Let me help you." And I've done coaching, and they've done for you services for me, and I've used agencies. It costs a fortune, and it doesn't convert as well. If I'd put that same budget into another Amazon product that sold itself, I should have done more of that. So now I can teach people the basics of Facebook and how to set up a Shopify store, but I still do it myself, 99% focused on Amazon products, just private labeled, under my own brand. I'm the only seller. Don't bother with retail. Don't bother with Walmart and Jet. Just specializing on Amazon. There's plenty of growth and plenty of money there.
Yeah, that's really, so first of all, you're just a smart, sexy boss. You're just awesome. I just love you because you're like, I'm not going to play that game. And that's really, if someone who's listening going, what are you talking about? There is a particular game. I was sharing just another game that's kind of out there, which is the Amazon book world, and so there's book publishing. I'll just share an example. So I have a client who comes to me and says, I really want to write a book. And she's like, I want to be number one and best bestseller. That's her thing. I said, fine. I said, here's what we're going to do. You really want to go, you have all these options to do self-publishing, true publisher, everything in between. So I got her 5 different interviews with, New York Times bestseller interview publishers, everything in between. And I said, I want you to go interview all of them. Mm-hmm. And she was like, they're all gonna be the same. Like, they were all over the board. One of them was like 10 grand. One of them was 50 grand. One was like, quote unquote, promising New York Times bestseller and how they do it. And then they showed the game. Like, there's actually a particular game to hit New York Times bestseller. There's a game to hit Wall Street Journal Times bestseller. There's all these different games to, quote unquote, get the game. And all of them said the same thing. If you want this particular one, New York Times, Wall Street Journal, Amazon, it's going to cost you X, triple X, triple X, or triple X, right? Yeah. Basically, it's a pay to play. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And she was just shocked, right? Yeah. And I'm like, it's called gaming the system. But now that's not saying it's right or wrong or whatever. It's just like, if you want that, you can write a check for it. Yeah. And, again, not right or wrong. But I remember for myself, when I got Amazon bestseller on my book, it was 3 years after my book was published. And it was truly natural. I had someone I was interviewing and he said, by the way, congratulations on your book, Amazon bestseller. And I was like, you're adorable, but like, it's not, like, I didn't want her to give me kudos for something I didn't get. And she's like, no, look at my screen. And I'm like, oh my God, because it was naturally created. And that's kind of what I feel like you're saying. It's like, it's something long-term. It's more grounded in reality versus a peak and then a drop. Yeah.
And a lot of people are looking at the wrong numbers. So they're really obsessed with the revenue and the sales, but not the profit. Yeah. So they'll do these great big giveaways and huge discounts and these big, big launches. I don't do any launch. I just turn up. I'm on page 1 on day 2 with my products. So it's a slower start, but it's profitable from day 1. And there's none of this running at a big loss for $10,000 to get in the game by giving away thousands of units, which is what lots of people do. And Amazon doesn't like it either. It's messing with their ranking system, and they clamp down really hard. I'm sure most of your readers or listeners would have seen this, the big review overhaul. So lots of people. Yeah,
I posted that on LinkedIn. Why don't you share a little bit? I posted on LinkedIn. Why don't you share a little bit about it, as people might not know about it?
Yeah, so on Amazon, customers shopping can see the reviews left by previous customers where they describe the product. They give it stars out of 5 and can leave a comment. And on most products, they'll just happen organically, like just a small percentage of customers will feel inspired to leave some feedback. And that's great. That's what Amazon wants. That's the genuine, real feedback on the product, which helps the next customer make a better choice. Amazon's all about the customer experience and them ordering the thing they really want and it being what they expect. So lots of people realize that Amazon's algorithm that helps rank your product picks up how many reviews and obviously how good the reviews are. It helps with the real customers, but it was also kind of tricking Amazon's algorithm. So people would go out and pay a service to just blast 100 reviews, or they'd do big product giveaways and pay people to give the reviews, or it was totally unethical. And it really skewed Amazon's platform that's built on trust. Yeah. And so Amazon went nuts. They just, like, no warning, they just snapped. They're like, right, you guys can't do this. So they had lawsuits and class actions against the people offering the services. They closed people's accounts, their listings. They delisted these top-selling products that these people had spent thousands launching. They removed a load of reviews that were clearly phony. So it was just gaming, and they got sick of it because it skewed their system. Mm-hmm. So the thing that people are doing now to game it is kind of giving products away. So they'll pay a service to give a deeply discounted product away, 50 units a day for 5 days or a month. That will get you onto page 1, a bit like the bestseller thing. but it's giving Amazon's customers a result on page one that's maybe not the best quality product or the one that's risen to the top through its own merit. It's just somebody's paid to get it there quickly.
Right.
So Amazon might have, enough of that one day too. So, and it doesn't make good business sense either. Like, you burn through that first shipment of product you've ordered, paying someone to give it away, paying for a big coupon code, basically a huge discount off the sale price. So you've paid for the stock, you're giving it away for free. You pay Amazon still a third in fees of the full price, and then you pay a commercial service fee for this company to do the giveaway for you, because they've got a list of people who'll redeem those coupons and order the product. They won't leave reviews now, but it's all just it's just gaming rather than having a decent product that somebody searches for, buys, likes, leaves a good review, on they go.
On the go, right. Like real reviews, like when I had my book that got Amazon bestseller at the time, it was literally because people were buying it.
Yeah.
Could I have done a launch, as we call it, and got all my friends and was like, go, 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 go. And I did what I call a mini one, of course. Like, I did post on Facebook and I sent an email. It was more of a like, look at that. I bet, cool. It wasn't that like pay to play and kind of thing. And I think at the time, and I know I'm talking about books and not your products, it's very different. But at the same time, I think that it's just the same thing. I think there's something to having a longevity of a book or a product over a period of time, and people actually really buying it, people actually leaving reviews, whatever they are, positive, negative, and really having a true product that people like. So let's talk about what makes your university different. And could you go ahead and tell people the website where they can find you?
Yeah. So I've got an online training program to help people who want to start out on Amazon choose the right kind of products, because it all comes down to product selection, and then implementing it is some kind of best practice. So I teach people that stuff in a program called Product University. And the website for that is aspiringentrepreneurs.com. And in there, people can guide their own way through at their own pace, follow the program, do the work, move on to the next step, and just get up and selling as fast as they can.
Yeah.
And then I sometimes do some small group coaching, and I take people to trade shows with me sometimes. So nearly
I
all
love that. I want to go. Where do you go? Obviously not China.
I do, actually. I went to China in April this year. Yeah. And I go to Hong Kong. There's a good trade show, Global Sources in Hong Kong. That's on twice a year. I go to the Canton Fair. I'm going to India mid-October this year, 2018. So I'm taking about 40 Australian Amazon sellers to Delhi. What could go wrong?
Yeah, what could go wrong there? I have no idea. That's awesome. 40 Aussie.
Handicrafts and Gift Fair Expo, which has got really unique, beautiful handmade products, just gorgeous. Stuff you would want in your own home, just beautiful, really high end. And then we're going to Vietnam in April to another lifestyle kind of homewares expo. So I have really good fun tripping around. It's all, optional extra fun. It's not core business, but it's good fun.
So tell us the name of the shows again. I talked over you. Could you name them again for us?
So Aspiring Entrepreneurs is the website. There's the Delhi Trade Show, which is the Handicrafts and Gift Expo. There's one in Vietnam, which is the Homeware and Lifestyle Expo. There's one in Hong Kong twice a year called Global Sources Summit. There's a conference attached to it for Amazon sellers. I'm speaking at that in April. And what's the other one? Oh, the Canton Fair is the big one in China. It's huge. And it's an amazing experience to go to. I took a group earlier this year. So more products than you know what to do with, just total overwhelm if you don't have a game plan. But then there are some good products there that are easy to get going quickly, just like the whole industry's set up to ship to the States, do the Amazon thing. So it's kind of a more mainstream approach. But for your first product, you don't want to make it too complicated either. So sometimes a little simple launch just gets you up and running, confident in Amazon, learn what you're doing, and then you can start going to more exotic places and doing trickier stuff later on. But the simple ones are always the best.
The simple is always the best, right? Do you have to have multiple accounts in it? Excuse me. If you go into different niches, do you have to have different accounts or merchant accounts, as they call it?
No. So Amazon likes you to just have one account, and I always just do what Amazon wants. I never try and have VPNs and duck and dive around. You know, people do all sorts of weird and wonderful.
Even if you, because I know you sold a company, you sold legitimately a company on it from your Amazon company. Did you not have to separate that?
Yeah, so I sold 2, and both times it was very James Bond, give me $1 million and I'll give you the password. And then over time, they transitioned that account over to their bank account. They redid the tax interview. You know, both times they've taken over the account.
Okay. So in those cases, and yeah, I'm not trying to get into logistics, but I think I'm just trying to get people an understanding. So when you create an Amazon merchant account, it's under, you know, one tax ID type of thing and one bank account, right? So in my head,
brands under that, and millions. You could have 500 different products, 10 different brands, all under that one account. And the customers don't care. They're just doing like a laser search for a thing they want. They go and buy it. They don't care what other stuff you sell. They want to see the reviews and the quality of the product they're about to buy. They might be interested in the suggestions. People that bought this also bought that. So it's great if those things are also sold by you. But they don't care. I've had incontinence products and tea and baby products all on one account, and it wasn't an issue.
So how many brands? So thank you. So there's how many brands can you have under one Amazon merchant account?
As many as you like. So the limiting thing would be how much storage space Amazon gives you. And if you're selling it, they'll give you more space. So they just cap the new sellers, but you can do as many or few products as you like. And that's one of the nice things about getting started. You don't need to send in a container load. You could choose one product and send in 50 units and see what happens, and just start really small.
Can somebody do a drop ship versus buying the actual product first?
Oh, so this is where there's a bit of debate. So I know you're a fan of drop shipping. I am not. So the reasons for, I'll just explain the 2 models as well in case anyone hasn't come across them. So private labeling is where you create your own brand that you own 100% yourself. You're the only one with rights to it, and you control the price. It's your brand. No one else is allowed to sell it. With drop shipping, you don't buy the product up front and you don't brand it as your own. When the customer places an order, your supplier then ships it to the customer. So it's a bit nicer for cash flow because you don't need to buy the product up front, but you don't really own anything unique. If you start to do well, other people can find your supplier and get exactly the same product to market really fast. There's no kind of point of difference with the product, and there's no unique branding, and it isn't really a business you could sell very easily. And Amazon also likes to have their customers' products in stock in their own warehouses and do the fulfillment themselves, because then they know it's in stock, they know the quality, they know it'll arrive on time. So Amazon will always give preferential treatment to products that they're holding in their own warehouse. They want that turnover of volume, and they want a really good customer experience. So if you're drop shipping something from overseas, it just doesn't arrive fast enough for Amazon customers. They want the 2-day, if they've got Prime, they shop on Amazon because they get free fast shipping, and you don't get that with drop shipping. So hours we can talk about this topic, but I'm a fan of private labeling. A bit more work up front, but then you basically get paid 3 times for doing that work up front. You charge more for the product because it's unique and premium and beautifully packaged and designed and looks the part. You don't get copycats, so nobody else can come in and copy your listing. I've never been hijacked, which is when people copy your Amazon listing. So that doesn't happen. You don't have to compete on price. And then thirdly, when it's time to sell your business, you've built a brand that's got value. You've got an asset there that's more than just the multiple of the sales and the profit. Mm-hmm. So I'm a fan of private labeling, a little bit biased, but it's the model that Amazon needs more of. They don't need more cheap Me Too commodity type products. They need more high-end unique stuff. So that's the stuff I source and brand.
Well, you're converting me. I'm all for that, right? And so so I love that. You're right. That's some real good strategy and talking points. The company that I built online, we did private label. It was our brand. There was no one else in that niche online. So I understand that we didn't have a bunch of Me Too products. So we could charge premium, and we did charge premium. It was, one bottle of one of our products was $75 US, and that was 4 ounces of product, extremely high-end product. So I understand that. I think you're right. That's some legitimate, but you have to have a little bit more money up front. So in your course, if they go through your course, what would you suggest as a good starting point of money to really have set aside completely? Like they lose it all, they're okay kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, obviously up to people's budgets. Some people go really big. My first product was $300. So I got 75 units of a $3 product, and there was a bit of shipping and a really basic, well thought through packaging, but it was cheap to produce that packaging. It was just a gift bag that cost 35 cents with a beautiful logo screen printed on it. The general rule of thumb, I would say 1,000 or two is more than enough to go quite aggressively at it and have a lot of suppliers being interested in in working with you. You can negotiate on volume and price. I'd rather pay a little bit more per unit, but do a much smaller shipment overall. And Amazon's got no view of how many or how few units you send in. So the smaller the launch, the better. I'd much rather have data on what the product does at full price when you just launch it quietly without having to pay for lots of promotional giveaway stuff. So I don't do any social media or anything at all. Just put the product on Amazon. I've chosen something that's in that sweet spot where there's enough demand but very low competition. So I want to see what those people shopping for that search term like and don't like about my product before I place a big order. So I've just launched my third brand. I've got 62 different listings for $13,000.
13. Sorry, could you say those numbers? $13,000 for
$13,000, and I've launched 62 products for that. Okay, that's pretty cheap, and that wasn't all on day one. All
wow.
Under one brand, all under one account, but they're unrelated products. So they're from 4 different countries. There's some from Australia, some from New Zealand, some from the States, some from Peru. Mm-hmm. Some are gift products, some are consumable, good repeat purchase type products, but they're all premium. They're all absolutely top end, and I've got very low competition for all of those keywords that I'm chasing after. So
wow,
50 days with that new brand, so probably 5 or so weeks into selling, but in 4 figures of sales for the month so far. It's all right.
Nice. That's very that's pretty good. And you're gonna go
margin. Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations. That's pretty impressive. I'm impressed with what you're doing, and I can probably talk to you all day long. But I want to give you the promotion here that you deserve. Tell me more about what you're creating with your program. Who are you looking for to go through your program, and how can they sign up?
Cool. Thanks, Heather. So I'm looking for people who want to build wealth and have a good lifestyle. So the neat thing about Amazon is it's not a very time-consuming business. It's kind of front-end loaded. You have to do some work to find the supplier in those first few products, but then maintenance is very easy. Adding new products is very easy too once you know what you're looking for. So the whole thing comes down to choosing good products. So my course is really focused on that product selection strategy. So I've got a big checklist. People can download that from the website. And then in the training, we go into more detail, more of the subtle stuff around choosing these winning products where there's enough demand. So getting skilled at judging that, assessing your competition, all like lots of worked examples and case studies on, would you do this one? Wouldn't you? Why not? Why? Just getting lots of experience seeing that decision-making process for choosing products. Mm-hmm. So all sorts of people do this. I've got retirees doing it. I've got young professionals who are keen to get out the day job. I've got young professionals who want to keep their day job but want to earn more money faster to clear mortgages or live a better lifestyle. Got people who just want to be complete lifestylers, so a bit like me. So I've got 7-figure Amazon businesses and just ski and ride my horses and get to pick my kids up from school at 3:00. So that makes me happy. I could work a lot, excuse me. I could work a lot longer hours and do a lot more coaching and stuff, but I just want to protect my time and look after family and have a good lifestyle. So I'm a single mum fairly recently, so new chapter in life. So just trying to make sure I enjoy enough of the good stuff and help other people. So it was interesting. So I paid off 2 mortgages thanks to my Amazon businesses, and I was helping other people start their Amazon businesses. And then our marriage came to an end, but I was in this position where I could live in one of the most expensive towns in New Zealand. It's just ridiculous house prices here. It's like the Aspen of the South Pacific.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But because of my Amazon business, not many women my age with 2 young kids could just go out and buy a house here. So there was a bit of shuffling around, and it wasn't totally easy in lots of ways. But because I've had this business, I was able to walk and set up camp again and look after the kids. And it's been a real privilege to be in that financial position. And if I'd been employed and I was in a good job, I was a diplomat, I would not have been able to have those options or freedom.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's pretty powerful story. And one of my missions and one of my mission in life is one of the reasons I do this podcast is I really want to highlight people that are, well, my mission in life is to have every woman on the planet be financially secure and free. Because I know that when women are financially free and secure, they make decisions they would have never made before.
Yeah, yeah.
And if
I really like that automated income. When I'm asleep, my Amazon products are selling 24/7 and in different countries. That's a really nice thing to wake up to. It's working without me working. I'm out of that hours for dollars trap.
Yeah, and that's huge. And I think that I would, I'm going to be going through it. I'm a huge component of what you're doing, and promote, aspiringentrepreneurs.com. Sophie, I really appreciate you being here. And more importantly, I appreciate you stepping out, whatever you had to go through in your own mindset to be able to say, hey, I want to have a new life, and I just really admire that, because you did have to go through what you had to go through, but you had done the work prior to set your life up so that you can have a great life. And that's really important.
Yeah. Health and family and all that stuff first, and money's necessary, but I'm just trying to really appreciate the good stuff in life and have great experiences. I'm not very materialistic. I don't have lots of fancy stuff, but I'm going skiing today in the most amazing resorts, and I've skied 3 days this week, and stuff that doesn't matter how much you earn, if your time's owned by your employer or you don't have freedom, you don't get to enjoy that stuff, and money can't buy it if you don't have freedom. Right.
That's really important. That's pretty powerful, and congratulations. And I love what you're doing. And just to wrap it up, everyone go to Aspiring, just in case you know her accent. It's aspiringentrepreneurs.com. You'll see her beautiful face when you get there, and check out her university there. And I highly suggest, if you're thinking about doing something, either a side hustle, or you're retired and you're looking for extra income, or you're like, hey, I want the lifestyle. I want to be able to live wherever I want to live and have that lifestyle. Then I say completely go and check out Sophie Howard and what she's doing at aspiringentrepreneurs.com. Any last words?
No, just really thanks for that. But I think an important thing about Amazon, it's a lot lower tech than a lot of the other online businesses out there. So, if you're blogging, that's pretty low tech, but harder to monetize. If you're doing Facebook and websites with products and drop shipping, there's a lot more analysis and ongoing techie skills, both to set it up and to run it. So you need to be really on those Facebook ads. It's much more kind of aggressive, much more work to be done, and more cost up front to get your sales. Whereas on Amazon, the model's really nice, because if you set it up right, it's a much more passive income stream, but also you don't need to be technically minded to do it. So if you can choose the good products, then everything else is done by Amazon. They do all the shipping and handling, the customer service. They'll deal with people's change of addresses and expired credit cards. They do all the boring stuff like warehousing and logistics for you. So in most products businesses, you don't get that. And in most online businesses, you need to be a lot more tech savvy than you do to be successful on Amazon. So I think it's got really broad appeal, good lifestyle business, but also very scalable.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's true. That's true. And just so you know, I live in Austin, Texas, and I live 0.5 miles away from the downtown headquarters of Whole Foods, which is Amazon Whole Foods. So I literally walk in there with my Prime, So we were the first Whole Foods to get we can use Prime on when we go check out. We were the first one, because the headquarters is upstairs. So literally the week that Amazon bought Whole Foods, you walked in and there was like kiosks of the Amazon fire.
Amazing.
Cool. Like the first week you're like, whoa, But I'm kind of used to that particular Whole Foods constantly change. It's 7 restaurants and it's got a bar in it. I mean, it's just off the chain. But that's because the headquarters is downstairs. So like, we have an idea. They're like, come downstairs. It's just Everyone's always like, wait, where's the coffee? You know, it's always changing, right? But I think that I love that because it's what you're saying is Amazon's just getting started.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, Amazon's just getting started here. And I think that's a key piece of this. And it is low tech. You know, like you don't have to understand merchant's a whole nother world. You don't have to do returns, you don't have to deal with that, you don't have to deal with warehousing. That's a whole nother world. So it really is. And because I've done it, I've had merchant accounts, I've had to deal with wholesale packaging before. And when you have a company that's literally handling those pieces for you, where your only focus is really picking great quality products and making sure they look great for the customer and taking care of the customer.
Yeah, it's good. I've had a great time doing it. I actually enjoy it. So it becomes quite addictive looking for those products when you know what to look for. So had lots of fun and good results and love helping other people. And I hate seeing other people either get the wrong advice or try and figure it out themselves and go around in circles and get lost. Not a good game plan.
All right. Thank you so much. I'll wrap it up. Everyone go check out Sophie at aspiringentrepreneurs.com. This is Heather Havenwood, like a boss. Check me out at heatherhavenwood.com. Until next time, be you, be real, and be the boss of your life. Bye.